Welcome everyone to Daily Origins Lifestyle video series, A Year in the Pandemic. We are going to be speaking with business owners about the ups and downs throughout this past year. And today we are speaking with Katelyn Williams, who is the founder of Kate's Ice Cream. Welcome, Katelyn.
Hi, thank you.
I'm so excited you're here. Tell everybody about yourself and then what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am based here in Portland, Oregon, and I'm the founder of Kate's Ice Cream, which is a plant-based and gluten-free ice cream company here. We sell our pints in local grocery stores, and we have a little ice cream shop. So that's what I do, and I've actually been making plant-based ice cream for 7 years now. So Kate's, I launched back in 2019 here in Portland, and we're doing pretty well. It's been a great COVID year in a way. Like, we had an ice cream shop that was open. A lot of people wanted to have small experiences. So ice cream did pretty well this summer, and I have a lot of hopes for this coming year.
I'm so excited for you guys and knowing everything that you've been up to. What is Kate's origin story? Because I know it goes back past 2019. So tell us a little bit about where it all began.
Yes. Well, you, Genevieve, are a part in that as well. Genevieve and I have known each other for many years back from whenever I lived in Boston. And I started making ice cream as like just a side passion project. I loved eating ice cream like so
Me
much.
too.
So I just started making it, and right? Who doesn't? And kind of really was inspired by my younger sister who couldn't have dairy. I wanted to like make ice cream for my family for Christmas one year. And I remember this was back in 2013. And I remember her saying, "Oh, that's really nice for you to make ice cream for everyone, but I won't be able to have any, but like, that's okay." And I was thinking, that's not okay. And I was like,
No.
okay, I'll make ice cream that everyone can have. And so I just like looked up a recipe, for a dairy-free ice cream, and made one in like our hand crank ice cream machine in our garage. And it turned out awful. It had very little flavor. It came out icy. It froze hard as a rock. And I had already been kind of making like regular ice cream. And so I was like, returned from that holiday thinking, I need to figure this out. I was kind of inspired. And so I just started testing, making coconut milk ice creams. And that was in January of 2014. And by August, I had launched my first business out in Boston. And the whole process of that, just learning, taught myself how to make all the ice cream, taught myself how to run a business. I mean, it was truly like my own little version of business school. And Genevieve helped me design the logo for my first company called Scoop Sites. And it was like the colors were teal and white. And, that was just such a memory, like so long ago, just a young girl, was very young, making ice cream and just figuring it out. And that was how I really got started in ice cream. And then to fast forward to the origin of Kate's Ice Cream specifically, after running my first business in Boston for a few years, my husband and I packed up and moved to Portland. And I spent a year here with new recipe testing and just sort of like studying the market. And I was like, I think this is what I'm destined to do. And so I just went for it. I was like, I'm going for it again. And this time it's like, I'm all in. So that's the origin story of Kate's, really.
Yeah, and a downside for me is not being close enough to have it every weekend like I did when you were in Boston.
You did.
To fast forward a little bit for you too, and for our viewers to know, is you can order Kate's online and you can get it nationally shipped. So
that's right. We ship
amazing.
Once a month at the beginning of every month. Go and put yourself on the wait list. You can, deliver 5 pints of delicious ice cream to your doorstep.
I'm going to be doing it one day soon, so keep your eyes open.
Nice.
But now that we're almost a year in our full pandemic, right? So what happened when March 2020 hit for Kate's?
Yeah. Well, we had been in business less than a year, and I had just finished investing in building out my own production kitchen that was also going to double as like an ice cream shop. And whenever the pandemic hit, I was like, wow, like my entire business plan of opening an ice cream shop is like completely halted. Um, because, for the first couple months, like Portland wasn't in phase one until I think end of June. So
Wow.
during that whole time, I spent like not being to open. But one of the awesome things that did happen was I was planned to launch in a local grocer called New Seasons, which has multiple locations all over Oregon. They're like our local version of Whole Foods. It's a very awesome, well respected grocery store. And I was set to launch March 20th, and lockdown here was March 12th. And I remember being on the phone with them being like, should I just like pause? Like, what the heck is happening? And they were like, I think you should still move forward. Like, no one knows what's going on, but like, still plan to launch. And it was the best decision that I could have made because, as you know, consumer goods and grocery goods skyrocketed for like 2 straight months, especially comfort foods like potato
Hmm.
chips, Oreos, ice creams. So we just like slayed. I was just swamped, like selling so many pints of ice cream in grocery stores. And that gave Kate's Ice Cream such momentum because that was really like our launch into the community. Like the first year, I kind of was like, spending, growing our presence in farmers markets and like building a foundation. And like 2020 was, I mean, Kate started like just really expanding. People started really getting, that name in their ears a lot. So the pandemic timing of us, for us specifically, was great. Yeah.
That I'm so excited for you because that is such a it's kind of opposite to what has happened to a lot of restaurants and
Yes.
or fitness companies where they've had to shut down and pivot in a way that wasn't as
Yeah.
beneficial for their business. But what a great
Totally.
opportunity for you to be able to be an up and coming business and get into consumers' hands in a way where it was
Yeah.
necessary and needed. So that's so exciting for you guys. Did you have any obstacles that came up throughout this year, whether it was in the beginning or something, recently that you've had to overcome?
Totally. I mean, right now we're in the thick of obstacles right now. It's February, it's a seasonal business and COVID, like we're definitely struggling a little bit right now. And there was a huge, the snowstorms, like we lost power, we lost some ice cream. But that is natural for like an ice cream business. So I know how to plan for that, but it doesn't make it any easier. But restaurants specifically definitely struggle, but since we kind of were a restaurant slash, ice cream shop and had a product that would sell in grocers, that's what helped us stay alive. So having like a product that people could go and, order online is something that really has helped businesses stay alive. E-commerce has
Hmm.
just skyrocketed. Um, but the biggest obstacle for us was like not being able to open our shop for a few months, which just set like our, annual income budget back by a few months, which is a huge deal. So
Right.
that was a struggle. But, there's lots of like, loans and grants and, things that we've applied for and we've been able to obtain a little bit. I know a lot of businesses have gotten more, but, just consistently and constantly rolling with it, just figuring it all out every week.
Yeah, I think as a
Yeah,
young business owner, you have to be extremely agile to
totally.
everything. And I mean, throwing yourself into the middle of a pandemic. And you mentioned a couple times now that the good of this is that you were in grocery stores. Was there anything that came out
Mhm.
of all of this that was good, that was unexpected, and maybe changed your business plan moving forward?
Yes. Well, I mean, like I shared, my vision for building out my kitchen was to also have it be an ice cream shop, but I didn't realize how perfect it would be because of the pandemic. So I'll just paint a picture for you. Our production facility slash shop is all in one. And what we do is we roll up our garage doors and set up every weekend and just sell ice cream. And we have a private courtyard. So our ice cream shop is actually speakeasy. It's hidden. You only know about it if you happen to walk by and if you hear about it. So it's not like it's very visible. So that was the look that I was really going for. But because we have a big open air private courtyard, it really became an experience for people that I didn't anticipate it being. And once we did enter phase one and people did like come to get like scoops of ice cream, it really took off. You know, people wanted to be out in the sunshine after being cooped up. People wanted to go on a little weekend event with their families. And since ice cream, they say ice cream's recession proof because people can't spend money on vacations and going out to nice dinners. So they want a $5, $7 treat, you know, that is affordable and that does make their families happy. And since ice cream's so nostalgic, it's deeply embedded into like your happiness from like
Mhm.
whenever you're a child. So that all played into our popularity throughout the summer, and we did much more business than I could have anticipated. And that was definitely something unexpected. And COVID has changed everything. It's helped me pivot quickly and create a whole new vision for what 2021 and onward looks like. So,
How exciting. You said something that really hit home for me because what with us at home all the time, not going on vacation, whenever we want to order Goodnight Fatty, which is a local cookie shop
good
that
night,
does it on the
Fatty.
yeah, it's so great. They do it
Love
on the
that.
yeah, they do it on the weekends. And when we're like, do we really need it? I'm like, we don't go on vacation and we're not spending our money anywhere. So like
Exactly.
it's a really like it's very on point to say that that's where people are spending their money is like, okay,
Yeah,
I am not going to be spending $100 here, but I do want to enjoy at least like $10 to $20 worth of my money this week and not just on
totally.
groceries.
Yeah. So that has worked for us, and I mean, while it's gone well for us, I've prioritized giving back how I can,
Right.
supporting and highlighting other small businesses who I can uplift and, giving back with doing periodic donations and like supporting the community. So Portland is hella community focused. Like, I truly believe that we would be in a different position if we weren't in Portland, Oregon. And I think other small, like, cities like that, like if we were in a big city, we might get lost. Like, but this is so centralized and such like locally like sourced goods focused, woman owned business focused.
Hmm.
I'm sure like east northeast is also like that, and like smaller cities like Salem. I'm sure is you're in Salem, correct?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so very community focused out there. I'm sure with farmers markets and things like that.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you're being a little humble by not sharing how much you've partnered with your local community vendors, or you can just say other businesses to make such amazing products. And you're also giving back percentage of your sales to different organizations. So I don't know if you
Mhm.
want to touch on that just a little bit and what that means to
Sure.
you. I would love to hear about it.
Yeah. So with Kate's, I really ice cream can be a vehicle for so many different things, for good, for change. And my priority with Kate's Ice Cream is to consistently partner with woman and minority owned businesses. So anytime that I'm seeking out someone to collaborate with, I'm very, very hyper aware. Like, do they represent my values for my brand? Do they represent, working locally? Like, do they operate their business with integrity? Are they owned by women? Are they owned by a minority or black owned business? I mean, and that's where I prioritize who I'm working with.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are really thinking of their businesses in that aspect too. I mean, right now they might be, but in, the beginning of business planning, it hasn't really come from like to the front of their mind. But the point that you made where you have your values, you have your mission statement. And as a new business owner, sticking so close to that and making sure that you don't lose your integrity is extremely important.
Yeah.
So that's valuable business information for, anyone outside of food industry or consumer goods to take.
Yeah.
Is there any other like insider business tips you can share for somebody who might be just starting out?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, first of all, I think operating very authentically has done a lot for my business personally. Like, I'm on the forefront. Got a lot of hands in the thing. I'm with the community. I'm talking with them. That automatically will grow your business. I really believe. And I think farmers markets, I'm speaking specifically to food because that's kind of where my
Yeah, that's okay.
talents lie. So, um, people want to meet who's making it. So like if you can bring your personality and you can bring your passion to that, like people will connect. People buy into brands that make them feel something versus just a product. So like if you've just got a product versus if you've got a product with like a brand and like a personality behind it, that will always win. And just, being super curious. Like I learned everything off of Google and through meeting with mentors. I found people who were doing things that I thought were really cool or maybe paralleled with what I was doing or maybe a step above. And I reached out. And yes, you're going to get no's sometimes, but a lot of times you're going to get
Right.
yeses. So, get like asking a lot of questions. If you're starting a business, like just go for it. It's now or never. Everyone around who's been, when, how, what, why. I mean, pre-pandemic, everyone has changed this last year. And I think a lot of people are like, enough. Like, I'm gonna live true to who I am. I'm gonna start this business because it's something that I've always wanted to do. And while we've unfortunately seen so many businesses close, we have seen so many new ones come up, and I'm hoping that it brings more of a community-based, surplus of businesses over sort of a capitalistic mindset of, all these businesses that have kind of just been operating off of autopilot for a long time, maybe soulless. And that's no shade to like so many businesses, but truly, I mean, I think a lot of benefit to having something that's locally owned and being supported.
I couldn't agree more. It's really where Daily Origin thrives from and what we truly believe in. And the really funny part is, I know you haven't heard our other two interviews that we've had with business owners, but their advice was almost identical to what you said, and you're in
Wow.
different industries where you being a small business owner, you need to have that personality connected to your community. And it goes for Daily Origin as well. Like you want to know who the person is behind the screen typing, who the person is in the kitchen making the ice cream and creating up all these amazing recipes. So
Yeah, it's fun.
yeah, amazing advice,
Yeah,
Katelyn. I really
yeah.
enjoyed
Thank you.
hearing that.
I'm
What's
looking forward to hearing to the other people who have spoken similarly and in different industries. I want to hear that too.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun, just seeing where everybody's been and just kind of seeing the similarities throughout these conversations and following your heart and really working hard to make your dreams come true. I truly believe in that. 2020 has changed a lot of people for the better,
Yeah.
as well as it's been a hard year. So we got to acknowledge both. But moving forward, like just knowing where our future is going to be and what we want for ourselves. What is the future for Kate's?
Yeah. There's a big one right now. I'm looking to open a second ice cream shop.
Wow.
And that's something that's a struggle right now because I can't find the right spot. And I definitely anticipated having a lease signed by now and like opening by May 1st. But I haven't found the right spot yet. And it definitely, is like, that's the type of like big struggle where it's something that affects something bigger than you, where that's a struggle in business, but you know, being an entrepreneur for 7 years now, and this is advice for people starting out or still new. These struggles never stop. So like swallow that hard, and the quicker that you can get over it and just understand like it is an ebb and flow. Because I know in my head, I know, okay, cool, I'm in this struggle right now. I don't have a lease signed. I don't have a second ice cream shop. Like this is a really big deal. Spring and summer around the corner. But I'm like, before I know it, I know that something like within a matter of X amount of time, I'm going to be elated. Somehow something always comes in. Some email just slides into your inbox and you're not even noticing it. It changes everything. Excuse me. And that always happens. So it always is an ebb and flow. So needless to say, my short-term goal is opening an ice cream shop before June 1st. Kind of had to push it back a month.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be operating 2 ice cream shops this year. This one's going to be like the flagship location. Looking to like really go all in on this one because the one that I opened last year is a pop up on the weekends. So you know me, Genevieve. I've been working at this ice cream thing for a very long time. To have like my first real bigger ice cream shop is something I'm really looking forward to, like putting my blood, sweat, and tears into, and having a space I think the most important thing, having a space that I can bring people together to do whatever I want, to host women events, to host, specific clubs, to host children over and teach them like, hey, like I was a kid like you once and I had a dream and I made it happen, things like that. I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah.
That it's so inspiring because a lot of what you said, it's like near and dear to my heart. And I think being able to make a space that will bring people in together, like not only are you going to be serving amazing product and ice cream, but you're going to be able to accomplish the other side of, things that you're passionate about, and you do very well by bringing community together. So I'm excited to see what's going on and what actually happens, and just know that whatever is meant to be is gonna, you'll land in the right spot and it won't be forced. So that's the best part you always can hold on to.
It will. The right thing always happens at the right time. If I haven't found the spot by now, it means that the right one is like coming.
Absolutely.
That's how I always believe, but you got to believe.
I agree.
Keep going.
So just so people can find your business and help support you, even if they aren't local, just give us a shout out of like where we can find you.
Here we go. Okay. KatesIceCream.com, at Kate's Ice Cream on Instagram. We have pretty delicious looking ice cream. We use all organic coconut and cashew milk to make our ice creams. We source all of our fruits and berries from local farms. We incorporate different products from local makers. Super high quality, definitely some of the best plant-based ice cream on the market. I can confidently say that. So, we ship once a month for all of you all over the United States. And anytime you're in Portland, visit our ice cream shop. There you go.
Thank you so much, Katelyn. I enjoy your story. I support you from across the country. And I can't thank you enough for your time with us today.
Absolutely. I appreciate being a part of Daily Origin and wish you all the best as well.
Thank you so much.